Hello traders. So I wanted to look at wrapping up our first start to finish trade. So as you recall, this trade was open. This was essentially a skewed iron condor that we put on in SPX. We opened this trade back on June 7th, and then we had to adjust it because the market had ripped up quite a bit. So we needed to make an adjustment on this trade on the 16th. So now this trade has continued to decay on us, which is great. That's what we're looking for. If we come in, we slide back here to today, we can see where we're at in this trade. So we're up the $192 roughly. We're right in the center of the sweet spot. So I'll tell you that a lot of traders look at this and say, hell, I don't have any real risk one side or the other, at least for a ways. So, they'll just hang on to this trade going forward. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It just is not the way that I personally trade or that I like to teach people to trade. So what I like to do is I like to take my little bite out of the middle, get out of this thing, because again, right now, if we have a 43.40, we go down to 42.40, well, I could get back to where, yeah, all right, I'm back to scratch on this thing if we go down 100 points. If we go up 100 points, I'm back to scratch on this as well. Again, those are pretty big moves, so I'm not necessarily expecting those. However, if we get to here, if this decays further, you can see how the slope of this T0 line is much, much steeper. So at that point, I could be up $400 and I could give it all back in one of those moves. So again, what I like to do is to just kind of get my little piece out of the middle on these things. This trade is currently up about 14 to 15%. That's since I opened the trade on the 7th, so that's what, 20 days? I'll take 15% in 20 days. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull this trade off. I'm going to close this trade at this point, and essentially lock in my approximately 14 to 15% gain. One of the other reasons I'm doing this, if we look at the market, we can see that we've had a few weak days. We're selling off a little bit. And specifically, if we look at volatility or VIX, VIX is starting to pick up. If VIX spikes again, if we end up with volatility, spiking up, look what happens to our profitability. If volatility spikes up, this is going to lose value. Even though it's in the center of the tent, it's going to lose value quickly. So for the couple reasons that I just mentioned of, hey, I've got a nice return in a relatively short amount of time, and I don't like to have to play my trades very close to expiration. That's reason number one. Reason number two is volatility is starting to pick up a little bit right now. I just as soon be out of this trade and ready to put on the next one. Ideally, when volatility does spike, because when volatility gets a little higher, these trades become much, much juicier. So for those reasons, I'm going to go ahead, close this trade out at this point, locking in my maybe just under $200 gain. Again, this is a paper trade. I want to be clear on that. I do trade similar trades personally, but and I trade them the same way. But I don't recommend anyone trade live off of the trades that I'm offering up here, because again, these are for educational purposes. They were never designed to be exact trade picks. It's all about putting trades on, seeing how the market moves, helping people learn and understand what's happening so that they have the ability to go out and put on their own trades at a future time. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. One other thing, if you would, please, I always forget to ask this, but it's really important. On these videos, particularly on YouTube, if this is of value to you, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. That certainly helps. And again, my goal is to provide content that people are finding to be of value. And when you find something that is of value to you, again, that's your way of letting me know. Give me the thumbs up. Also, you can feel free to comment as well. Comments are always welcome, and I try to respond to all of them. So thank you so much again, everyone. I appreciate it. And we'll look for a new start to finish trade here later this week or early next. So take care. Bye.